Just want to welcome everyone today to this first Thailand Mic Award ceremony. Thank you for all the Zoom participants for joining also today to be here to celebrate the success of 4 Thai companies. So during these first hours, we will celebrate the Thai companies who won the Thai Mic Award. And in the following part of the afternoon, so we will celebrate the Global Mic Award winners, so the organization which have won the award at the global level. And we are lucky also this year to have 2 Thai organizations who are a part of these winners. So just to tell you a little bit, okay, here we go. If my computer wants to work, to collaborate, here we go. So my name is Vincent Ribier. I'm the Managing Director of the Institute for Knowledge and Innovation at Bangkok University. So this is the first year that we organize the MIC Award event in Thailand. So the MIC Award was created a few years back, originally by the Hong Kong Polytech University. So we are for the first year we have been running this event. So the Institute, just in a nutshell, so it's a center of excellence of Bangkok University. We are specialized in the field of knowledge management and innovation management. That's why we are running this award. And so we offer also different kind of program and event around this area. So it was just in a nutshell to introduce who we are. Now, as you may already know, if you don't know, if you're new to the MIC Award, there are 2 levels of awards. So there is a award, the national award, which is granted for Thailand. And it's also granted like this in 12 other countries. And there is what we call the Global MIC Award. So the winner of each country compete later on to get what is called the Global MIC Award. Now, so these are the countries that are currently part of the MIC Award. There is one part which is MENA, which is for the Middle East. So it's even just not one country, but it's a group of countries. Again, all the applicants of the MIC Award, so MIC stands for Most Innovative Knowledge Enterprises. So participants who apply for this award need to demonstrate that they excel in the field of knowledge management and innovation management. And so there are 8 main criteria that they need to excel into. And so these are just mapped on this visual. So we look at their human capital capabilities, their relational capability, and their structural capital capability. And so if they are doing very well in most of them, then they are more likely to win the award. Now, I would like to thank you, a couple of people which are, without them, who will not be here today. So first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Varali, who has been very much involved and engaged to make this event succeed here in Thailand. I would like to thank the IKI supporting team and Kunke Sudha and Kunke Sara, who are also here today. Mr. Amadeus Noren, who could not be here today, with our graphic designer and our multimedia designer, which have been developing all the brand and everything. And also one of our colleagues, DJ Frankie, who has also done some of the music for today's. Ms. Cheng Gong also, which was very much involved in facilitating the award this year on the back end. Mr. Madan Rao, that may have contacted already some of the winners, is a KM expert who's also a very good writer and that has been reporting the success story of MIC Award over the years. Bangkok University and particularly also the audiovisual and IT team who are here today, and Professor W. Lee from the Knowledge Management and Innovation Research Center at the Hong Kong Polytech U, who's managing these overall things. And of course, all the speakers and participants today. And of course, all the committee members who have reviewed your application this year for Thailand. Some of them are here in the room today. Mr. Amit, Dr. Bundi, Dr. Ronald, Dr. Chulatep, Dr. Terry, Kunporotai also are here in the room today. So thank you all guys for doing this. It's done, all of this work is done on a voluntary basis. So thank you very much for your very insightful feedback and for all the time spent in doing so. We can give them maybe a round of applause. I think they deserve it. Okay, now just as an update for what's coming up. So of course the registration and the application, sorry, are open for the MIKE Award, Thailand MIKE Award 2021. You can already go to the website and get all the information that you might need to know how to apply. One news which is not official yet, but we are working on it. We might even extend the Thailand MIKE Award to the Southeast Asian MIKE Award. So like the Middle East at the region award. And so we are considering, we are getting interest from countries, neighboring countries who might be interested to apply to. So we might extend it maybe next year or for sure the following year into the Southeast MIKE Award. So just for you to know. And the last thing is that we are always open for sponsors. Like I said, we are most of the people are doing that on a voluntary basis. It's a lot of work. And so if any organization wants to be a brand themselves associated with this award, we welcome your partnership and collaboration. Okay, great. So let's, now that I've given the introduction, it's time to celebrate. So I just would like to share with you, if you don't already know, who are the winners for this year. So I think we can give a big round of applause to all the Thai winners. So as you can see, there are different levels of awards. We have bronze, silver, and gold. And so this year we got a chance to have 2 bronze and 2 gold winners. So we will now call each companies to a representative of each companies to receive their award. And I would like to start by inviting Banja from ComExpress to receive his award, if he's here. Okay, wonderful. So thank you all and congratulations to all these companies. We hope that they will become inspiration for other organizations in Thailand and in the regions. And so we are very thankful that today they will be sharing some of their journey or some of their best practices in what they have been doing. So the sharing will start today with AIS, who will share with us physically, and also for those of you on Zoom, their journey to win this mic award. So I will just now pass the mic to AIS to present their journey. Let me just switch slides and we'll get started.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I think that I should use this opportunity to thanks for all the committees, giving AIS such a good opportunities to share, and also we really appreciate on the things that you guys value on the things that we did along the way. I would not say that the things that I'm going to share is the really, fantastic, and the other organization never done that, things that we believe is the put the basic right. That's what the AIS believe. But when we say basic right, it depends on the change of, the disruption or those. So the basic is keep changing all the time. So I got 2 videos as well, because sometimes, in the afternoon, you guys might, feel like after a big lunch and all those. So my presentation will be a little bit boring. So video will help you, keep you guys awake. So let me, the slide could not move.
Yeah, sorry, just 1 second. Still struggling with the, here we go.
Okay. Okay. So last 6 years, we're talking about, transform AIS, which is the telecom company, to be the digital service provider. So we want to be the most admired company, and that's the things that we start. We're talking about 2 things. We're talking about like to right. Normally when we're talking about the disruption, the most challenge is we enjoy on our comfort zone. We enjoy on whatever bring us to the success. The things that bring us to the success nowadays might not bring us to the success in the future. So that's the things that we keep in mind. So instead of we continue doing the things that we like, we shift ourselves to do the right thing. Whether, things have to change a lot. For example, like employee satisfaction, we also think in a different way. We slow down the satisfaction a little bit. We more focus on the engagement. If you see the organization that have a very high satisfaction, which is we proud in the past, you might also find that your people stick in the comfort zone. So that's the things that we change the way we think. My time is not up, right? Okay. Okay. This is the things that we keep remind ourselves. People who got in an accident, when they left home, they never think that they're going to have an accident. Running the business in the digital world is the same. You could not expect that everything, you go on the same route, you repeat the same activities or those, but it's not guaranteed that you won't face any accident. The accident is kind of like the things that you cannot control, because sometimes even how good you drive, it doesn't mean the people who drive the other car going to drive the same way you drive. So that's the things that we put in our people belief. And then, things that I'm going to share with, you're going to give me 20 hours, right, on talking on this. So we're talking about the culture. The culture is the first thing that we want to address. In AIS, it's very, very challenging when we have the long the long history of success. And then we have to step up and say that on the day that everything's still good, doing good, the performance, everything is doing good. And then we tell the people that now we have to change. People won't believe that. And they keep wondering why we need to change. So we start with changing the new culture. The way we think, the way we do is totally changed. Second thing, I'm going to talking about the people strategy that we changed, which you see in the other slide, and also the experience of the learned it system, which is we shift the classroom. We decide to finish the human resource development department and then setting up the AIS Academy. And the AIS Academy is not only for AIS people, it's for the community as well. And also the innovation workplace. The innovation workplace, when we're not talking about the luxury, we might not afford to, provide free lunch or, I work in an American company before, and then, people sometimes when I work in Microsoft, there are some benefit that they can provide, but it might not the same way that Thai companies can do the same thing. So we're talking about the digital experience more than other free stuff, giving people, spoiled people. That's not what we are working on. And also, when you do everything, you don't expect your company to be sustained without bringing up the ability of the community that you stay with. So that's the reason of running the Academy for Thai. In Thailand, we say Parakit Kit Phua. I think that you guys might heard about that already. So let's see that. Let me show you the video on our new culture that talking about fit. We're not talking about the exercise only, but fitting when we're talking about fit is also the knowledge and the ability, seeing the challenge as the opportunity. So let's see the video.
Keep your voice down low. Sometimes you gotta risk it and let the whole world. Don't wanna be too quiet. I'd rather get real loud. We gonna start a riot. Come on, show you how. Let's get a little bit louder.
That's my CEO.
Let's get a little bit louder. Gotta get a little bit louder. Let's get a little bit. Turn it up. Let's just see how high we can go. Turn it up. No stopping till we lose our control. Turn it up until we feel it down in our soul. Turn it up. Let's get your heartbeat pumping. This is the honest truth. If we get these bodies jumping, we're gonna shake it loose. Let's get a little bit louder. Let's get a little bit louder. Gotta get a little bit louder.
I think that we could not say that, we could not claim that AIS is the best. That's not the right thing to claim. But I think that every day when in our organization, you see the things change, keep change. And we believe that the most challenge for people in the world is, we spend a lot of time, sitting in the change management program, all those type of things. But when you're talking about transformation is totally, huge, bigger than change. It means I think that you shift from one species to the other species, which is not that easy. So when you look at the video, you see that there are a number of things that we put together. Want to transform, we cannot do only one single or 2-3 projects. It means everything that surround, and experience of the staff need to be changed, and communication need to focus a lot in terms of doing tons of way of communication. And I think that to be a success, and not many company doing that, is you need to disrupt HR first. And many times you see that HR become a big barrier to shift the organization, because the HR is so powerful, right? You can say that you guys gonna survive or you guys gonna dead. Salary incremental, all those type of things is not the real. HR is the partner. HR is the business partner. But when we're talking about business partner, it's totally different from what we act, because HR always say that, I apologize, I think HR always sit at the corner when we're talking about the company strategy. When we're talking about business, HR always be the last that the business teams call us in. So we need to transform the HR first. And I won't go in detail of this, just give you the idea that there are a number of things that we've done. We shift in the first 6 years, we call 6P, which is when we say put basic right. That's the first thing that's very important. Place the right people, you see from the slide. And then we shift to 6R. We call the year of right. That means right workplace, right resource, right process, because it's everything. And then, we're talking about upskill, reskill, and then this is a very fashion word. People talking about upskill, new skill. And I could say that many people say that word without really understand what it is. Just like people fight on OKR, KPI, which one is better. And at the end, the company doesn't have a clear direction because all the management team talking about OKR or KPI. So we put more than 500 courses in the digital system. First year, people complain that they have no training. It doesn't mean they have no training, but we minimize the classroom training, because we're talking about provider, digital service provider, then we're talking about the e-learning system. And we found that for the new generation, they enjoy to control their own destiny. It's totally different from my generation. So what we build nowadays is not to satisfy the existing management, but it's more on focus on the new generation who will become and run, the people who run the company for the future, what they expect. So it's kind of like two generations. And if you focus too much on making all the people happy, you're not going to be able to transform. This is the first thing that we did. We changed the Human Resource Development Department to the IKI-SEA Academy, which is we work with number of institutes to help us building up the program. One thing that we learn is for Thai, we always when we have to sit in the English class, people will ask for English training course. Being able to communicate in English is not just like you go through the English course and then you can make it happen. Have you ever seen the movies in English, or you just spend time, many times that people go to the movie place and then you don't see any movie at all because you just keep yourself read the subtitle all the time. So that's not going to help. So we kind of like, it's kind of like tough because we push everyone in the pool and they have to learn how to swim. And it's not only the pool, we put them in the ocean, we bring them out. And then, we have Harvard, Manchester University, and also SEAC, which is help us develop the program is designed based on the different target for the Harvard. The reason is all those generations need to learn about the case study, all those. So we want to shift the management paradigm. So we use number of cases For Manchester, it's the 3-year course, which is we bring the people who gonna be the future leader, making sure that they have the proper education system. And the classroom become the e-learning, and then we use the mobile. So everyone can learn from their mobile. We have the platform we call LearnDig, which is we believe that if our staff want to learn anytime, they can learn. Just we are the telecom company, so mobile is everyone having the mobile. The other challenge is when we using the mobile, the first time is quite difficult because people tend to have a challenge in terms of adapt themselves to the technology, the way they run, because it's not only the watching the movie or the clip or those, but some class is also 2 ways communication, so people have to learn. But the main purpose is the digital experience. That's what we did. When you go to AIS, you guys are always welcome. When you go to the AIS library, you won't see any physical book in the library anymore. It's the digital. So you can go there, you have the shelf, you see the shelf here, let me see. So you just choose from the screen and it will download to your mobile. And you don't have to spend time to come back and return the book, because when the time's cut off, then the books will automatically going back to the library. When I'm talking about communication, the communication is very important. So we're doing the podcast, we do the Unjai station. Unjai is for the Thai people, that Unjai is the mascot that we use, and it's the symbol of AIS. So we call Unjai station. Start talking, doing communication, make it informal way. So management swap and then talk to the people. Let them ask the question, those type of things. The other things that I mentioned is the Parakit Kit Pheur, which is when you want the company to grow and continue growing, you have to shift the ability of the community as well. You cannot just, let the company grow and then the community that you stay is, slow down or fell apart. So have to, support each other. So we do the Parakit Kit Pheur under the Academy for Thai. The Academy for Thai, we don't have to put too much effort on that. But we believe that during the transformation, what required for the AIS people might be needed for the people in the society, but they might not have the equal opportunity to access. So number of courses that you have to spend the money, to register and sit in there. So we try to make sure that everyone in Thailand have the opportunity to access to all those knowledge without any fee or without any spending on the cost tuition. So we're building up the community for this group of people. Now we have more than 10,000 people who join in this and then learn together with AIS. And besides that, we just launched the new one, which is we believe that people will face the challenge of the crisis after the COVID. So we start to train the people to get another opportunity to explore their career, such as like people who might lost their job. So we use our people who have the talent in something, running the course for free. It's online. So let me show you.วันนี้เนี่ยค่ะวิกฤตโควิดที่เกิดขึ้นเนี่ยเป็นแค่สัญญาณแรกในการเตรียมความพร้อมของคนในการพัฒนาปรับตัวเองให้เข้าไปสู่โลกดิจิทัลให้ได้ใน AIS เองนะคะเราเตรียมพร้อมในเรื่องของ Digital Disruption มาเมื่อ6 ปีที่แล้ว AIS ในฐานะสมาชิกที่ดีของสังคมไทยวันนี้เราทำเรื่องของภารกิจคิดเผื่อมาดูกันว่าในความสามารถของคน AIS ภายใต้เทคโนโลยี 5G ที่ AIS มีจะทำให้เกิดประโยชน์ขึ้นในสังคมให้ฝ่าวิกฤตนี้ไปได้อย่างไรค่ะภายใต้แกน Academy for Thai เรามักจะจัดการสัมมนาทำให้คนไทยเข้ามาเรียนรู้ในการเตรียมความพร้อมไปสู่โลกดิจิทัลด้วยกันวิกฤตที่เกิดขึ้นเนี่ยค่ะเป็นตัวส่งสัญญาณให้เรารู้ว่าวิ่งธรรมดาไม่พอแล้วเดินธรรมดาไม่ทันแน่นอนเพราะฉะนั้นวันนี้เราชวนคนไทยค่ะกระโดดเข้าไปด้วยกัน3แกน Jump to Innovation วันนี้ AIS ชวนคุณสร้างนวัตกรรมใหม่ๆไปพร้อมกันค่ะ Jump over the challenge การทำให้คนไทยได้มีโอกาสในการสร้างอาชีพหลังจากที่ได้รับผลกระทบสิ่งนี้เป็นสิ่งสำคัญ Jump with EdTech ลืมไม่ได้เลยค่ะคือการเรียนรู้ไปด้วยกันดูซิว่าเทคโนโลยีภายใต้ 5G ศักยภาพที่ AIS มีจะทำความรู้ให้คนไทยให้ยังประโยชน์ในการก้าวไปข้างหน้าได้อย่างไรบ้างค่ะAIS เชื่อมั่นนะคะในพลังของการประสานกันโดยเฉพาะพลังที่สำคัญก็คือพลังของพันธมิตรเราได้เห็นองค์กรภาคเอกชนเข้ามาร่วมมือการพัฒนาคนไทยไปด้วยกันเราหวังว่าความคิดเผื่อของเราเนี่ยค่ะจะเป็นจุดเล็กๆที่เริ่มจุดประกายให้หลายๆองค์กรลุกขึ้นมาทำกิจกรรมเพื่อสังคมไทยเหมือนกันแล้ววันนี้นะคะไม่มีเวลาลังรอแล้วค่ะเราอยากชวนคนไทยก้าวกระโดดไปด้วยกันทำประเทศนี้ให้เป็นประเทศที่มีความแข็งแรงภายใต้ความร่วมมือของทุกภาคส่วน AIS เชิญชวนทุกคนมาจัมป์ไทยแลนด์ไปด้วยกันค่ะ And this is not me this is not human resource but this is the beauty of the commitment of AIS people give them a big round
Great, thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you.
Do we have any? Go back. Okay. Do we have any question first in the room for Kun Kantima? Don't be shy. And I will check also if we have questions online. So I'm sure you all have a lots of question or you're curious about what AIS is doing or about their success. Yes, and you can ask in Thai if you want to. Yes, please. Sure.
How your leadership team gets a sense of or pulse of innovation happening in company as a culture?
I think that we are quite lucky. I say lucky because it's not that many that tone from the top need to be very strong. So when we have the Kun Somchai, take the role of the CEO, the first thing that he mentioned that we need to transform the organization because of the digital disruption. So we study about the future of telecom industry, and we know that the disruption gonna affect on us a lot. You guys might see that during the COVID situation, the telecom company should enjoy because people turn to use all those mobile, but it's not that only. But we believe that whatever we do now today, it might not bring us for the future to the success. So that's the tone from the top, the CEO giving those. And then we have to admit that we face some challenge because not all the management will see the same thing. When we have those challenges, we have to use many tactics. For example, like when you see that I have Harvard University coming in, so I ask all the C-level have to attend, all the head of business unit have to attend those courses. Some might not, confidence to using the technology in learning or those type of things. Make them believe by facing the challenge by themselves that's the world gonna change. So that's the things that help us. I hate to say this, but we can shut someone mouth. We can shut them up because they have a real experience. But the people who really understand on this, why we have to do this, is the benefit a lot for them, because they use those opportunities to skill up their skill. And also I forgot to say that when we have a Harvard University in, we did not have the professor come in and teach them. So we give them a number of homework. And when they have to come to the class, it's the discussion, it's the workshop. So if they're not prepared themselves well, they could be dumped in the class. And it's painful. We got a lot of complaint, but I have to be very strong, and be patient enough to let them complain. And then when they talk to the next generation, they found that, oh, there are some gaps that we cannot compete with the next generation. The most important thing is we have to accept the fact that the world is for the next generation. It's not for us only. They're going to be a very, very important group of people who drive the company for the future. So let's stop, continue doing the satisfaction just for the top management, but making sure that we do the right thing for the future. I hope I answer your question.
Yeah, thanks.
Any other question from the audience here?
ภาษาไทยก็ได้นะคะ
Don't be shy.
พี่
It's
ก็ชอบ
your...
พูดภาษาไทย
So maybe ask. Let me just ask a question. So, since the beginning of the pandemic, what has been the most challenge that you had to face at AIS? I mean, we all know that. I mean, people had to work from home and so on. But is there any one thing that maybe you struggle the most with, or that was the most challenging?
I would say the most challenge for Thai organization during those pandemic is how can we work from home? How can we work from anywhere? That's the most challenge, because we never practice on those. We have, the fire drill, we have all those, but we could not believe that, this disruption gonna happen. But I think that we make one right decision for AIS, that this is not the advertising, okay? But we put the system just right before the pandemic happened. And instead of we encourage people, why don't you try? Why don't you try? We announce that this is the deadline. So whatever the application that you use and you're familiar with is not going to be allowed. And I would say only a couple months, then pandemic happens. Otherwise, we have to use the pigeon, put a letter on the legs and then let it fly. But that's the things that we learn, that sometimes when you let yourself go through all the pain before the crisis, you're going to see the benefit during those. But of course, the communication is the thing. That's why we say that Unjai station need to take place, because people, they don't want to read the announcement, especially when they have all those spread with all those pandemic, So radio station is come back. I think the podcast, this is not the new. This is the things that you already familiar a long time ago. We just bring it back and make sure that everyone can get the message.
Great, thank you very much. Any additional questions before we end this session? Yes, Dr. Bundi on the back. Yes.
Thank you very much for your very impressive presentation. I would like to know, how do you relate those cultural transformation to the innovation capability in the AIS?
Okay. I think the most challenge for, bring the company to be able to innovate on the new thing is people are afraid of fail. So we launched one program we call Learning from Failure. So we use you see that the challenge is the opportunity. That's one of the culture. So we have around 1,000 people in an organization go through the session talking about the failure in the past. And we send the message, it's okay. It's okay to fail. Because especially the organization that success a lot, people tend to avoid doing the new things because they don't want to fail. So we have to change their mindset by, launch those type of programs. And then they become a change agent. So they share their story, that what they make a mistake, what they fail with. But the most important is what they learn from those failures. So that's worked quite well on those one. That's the sample. Am I answer your question? Thank you.
Great. Any more question? I didn't see any question from the Zoom participants. You have been quite quiet, guys. But any more question in the audience? No? Great. So again, I want to. Oh yeah, sorry. One more question here.
Okay, this should be the last question. Okay, may use this Thai language.
Sure, please.
ค่ะ
please.
Okay. เนื่องจากว่า AIS เนี่ยเป็นองค์กรเขาเรียกว่าเป็นถือว่าเป็นท็อป 10 ของประเทศไทย
ขอบคุณค่ะ
นะฮะผมก็เชื่อนะฮะและเชื่อว่าคนไทยทุกคนเชื่อกันด้วย ในมุมมองของ AIS เนี่ยนะฮะที่มองกลับมาที่องค์กรขนาดย่อยสมควรที่จะเขาเรียกมี innovation มีนวัตกรรมนะฮะอย่างไรเนี่ยในการที่ยกระดับองค์กรขนาดย่อยเนี่ยนะฮะให้ยั่งยืนแล้วก็ก้าวขึ้นไปสู่องค์กรขนาดใหญ่ในอนาคตครับอยากจะให้ใช้เดียวนี้ครับขอบคุณครับ
Can I respond in Thai then?
Okay, can you summarize the question?
Okay, I speak in Thai and then I summarize in English. ขั้นแรกเนี่ยค่ะสิ่งที่เราทำเนี่ยค่ะคือเราเชื่อว่าต้องช่วยกัน คือองค์กรที่เป็นองค์กรขนาดย่อยเนี่ยถ้ามีองค์กรขนาดใหญ่เนี่ยซัพพอร์ตกันเนี่ยได้ประโยชน์ทั้งคู่หมายความว่าองค์กรขนาดใหญ่ก็ได้เรียนรู้จากองค์กรขนาดย่อยแต่ในเรื่องของ innovation เนี่ยค่ะเราเชื่อว่าองค์กรขนาดย่อยเนี่ยทำได้ง่ายกว่าเพราะว่า size มัน move เร็วนะคะเวลาที่เราทำเรื่องของ innovation เนี่ยค่ะถ้าอันนี้ก็แอบเล่านิดนึงแล้วกันนะคะตอนนี้เราทำโครงการชื่อ Jump Thailand เรียกว่า Jump to Innovation หมายความว่า AIS ชักชวนบริษัทเล็กๆหรือน้องตัวเล็กๆเนี่ยค่ะที่มีความคิดแล้วอยากจะทำอะไรใหม่ๆนะคะแล้วด้วยตัวเองคนเดียวลำพังไม่พอเพราะฉะนั้นไปเข้าในโปรแกรมนี้ค่ะจะมีกลุ่มคนของ AIS เนี่ยค่ะที่จะ support ให้เขา build innovation ได้เกิดขึ้นโดยที่ AIS มีทุนที่จะ support รวมถึงการต่อยอดไปถึงธุรกิจใหม่ๆอันนี้คือสิ่งที่เราทำนะคะ answer his question he talking about how AIS as the community how AIS thinking about the middle SME company in terms of doing innovation. So what I say is one is the AIS believe in the partnership. We don't believe in we growing only ourselves. And the other thing is I have a strong belief that for the small company, the innovation happen easier compared to the bigger company. But we have the program we call Jump Thailand, which is now AIS invest in terms of if any organization, if any student in a university, if you have the innovation, come and join us because we have the support team and the fund. Then learn together. So that's what we doing. Yep.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you again for sharing your experience
Thank
with us.
you.
Congratulations
Thank you.
again for AIS. We will get the second Global Mic winner, Thai Global Mic winner to present Kongsi in the second sessions a little bit later on today. So this will end this session. The next session will start at 2:15. And thank you all again for joining physically or virtually and looking forward to have you join the next session. Thank you all. Kapun Makra.
ถัดไปนะคะจะขอให้เวลา10 นาทีกับทางกรุงศรีเตรียม presentation ก่อนที่จะเปิด session global นะคะแล้วส่วนตากล้องเมนของมหาลัยเดี๋ยวสัมภาษณ์ feeling คุณเจี๊ยบหลังเหมือนเมื่อกี้ค่ะเหมือนทางของกรุงศรีแล้วก็ตามด้วยสมาคม IoT ค่ะแล้วหลังจากกรุงศรีเปิดงานแล้ว present เสร็จก็ช่วงบ่าย 3กรุงศรีจะลงไปสัมภาษณ์ที่ล็อบบี้เราของโรงแรม